ਸੌਣ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਮੀਂਹ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਸੌਣ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਮੀਂਹ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਗੋਡੇ ਗੋਡੇ ਚਾਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਰਣੀਆਂ ਸੇਮੀਆਂ, ਕਮਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ ਚਾਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਰਣੀਆਂ ਸੇਮੀਆਂ, ਕਮਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ ਚਾਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਰਣੀਆਂ ਸੇਮੀਆਂ. So, welcome back to podcast number 2. Thank you so much for supporting our first podcast. And, we'd love to hear more thoughts and feedback on what topics you want to cover. But we have got some great, exciting podcasts lined up and coming your way because, let's face it, we like to talk. And you're here with Mandeep and
Jasneet.
Didn't even introduce Jas properly in the last podcast. We just kind of went for it.
Translation.
Let's translate this Bolly. It's a good Bolly to have at your wedding functions, your parties and everything else coming up. But what does it actually mean? So in the month of Sawn, which I believe is the monsoon season,
correct. A lot of rain.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure it's about August time when it starts to really rain in India. Sawn mahine mi pe janda, so it's obviously raining. Gode ja. So we are excitement. We are excited. We are excitement. We are so excited up to our knees. So I've mixed the semia, basically making the semia. So mix the semia.
Who doesn't love a bit of semia?
Exactly. Excitement. Sawn mahina semia.
Gamalinu charigacha. So there's a gamala out there that's got a bit too excited.
Crazy man. Basically. He's getting excited looking at her mixing her semia. Naughty boy.
But it's sugar high.
Well, that is our interpretation anyway. Is a lot of the times when we translate it into English, I mean, English, it's not the kind of the most intelligent language. And it's never like for like. There's always a little bit of kind of discrepancies. But it's quite interesting to see what happens to a Bolly when you do translate it to English. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it.
I know. At the bottom of like Punjabi or Hindi films, you'll understand what it is. See the bottom of it and be like, that's not the direct translation of it.
But we'll try and do our best because obviously we want to keep connecting with Boliyan and we want to make them more accessible. And we understand there's a lot of people out there that find it difficult to get involved in lady sangeets, get involved in like weddings and stuff, and Boliyan
fully understanding it as well.
They don't necessarily understand it. So that's our small part in a journey of bringing Boliyan into kind of this generation and trying to kind of keep the culture alive. So we're here today to kind of finish off what we started on podcast number 1. I spoke a lot about my initial journey, where the dancing started, some of my influences and things like that. But actually the dance page, Dance with MVR, where did that actually start and kind of how it's brought me to where I am today, and just kind of discuss some topics along the way about some of the amazing people that I've collaborated with. Again, some of the learning curves.
Start drum roll with what was your inspo?
So my actual inspo. So the page initially started pre-COVID actually. COVID took it off, but it was pre-COVID. And some of the dancers that we have probably both been inspired by, the likes of Manpreet Door, Naina, I mean, when they used to do YouTube videos together back in the day, performances, their performance to Barasore Mega was just we were trying to learn
so hard and
it was just amazing. But I think both of those two were both people that I kind of looked up to as kind of inspirational people. But also there was a lot of groups that I kind of followed. Shan Punjabi, they've got a Gidda group, the boys group, and they are phenomenal. They're based in Canada, I believe. And you can tell they're a proper tight-knit family, and just some of the
choreography,
some of the choreos and some of the dances that they come up with, amazing. And the way they do it as well, you can tell they're fully traditional, very folk, and they take it from the root and kind of perform it, and it looks amazing. So they were a massive influence. Other kind of Gidda groups, I think they're called GNDU. Guru Nanak Dev Ji University, which is based obviously in Punjab. They've got loads of YouTube videos. I mean, not so much their Instagram page, but their YouTube videos are amazing. Like, they are class. And then just a few other people that I follow. Sadeso, a very funny girl. She makes like quirky little videos and things like that. And just humour to the screen.
It's nice to lighten it up.
Yeah, exactly. But also Core Strength, who is she's obviously a fitness kind of influencer. She's amazing. Like, just from some of her kind of videos, more sort of the fitness and the health and the keeping active and things like that. A lot of positive people, and there's a lot of positive messages circulating. And obviously personal people to me that have kept me going. Jas has massively been an influence in my life. You know, cheerleading the page. My sister as well. One thing I didn't mention in my previous podcast, but my sister's actually also a dancer as well. Not so much Bhangra and Gidda. She likes her bashment, and she likes, you know, other genres of music. And we've also previously, growing up as a teenager, she's dragged me along to do some performances with her as well, some Bollywoody ones and this, that, the other. But she's always been a massive cheerleader as well in trying to kind of keep me going and things like that.
Give you that extra, like, sometimes you can have your like peaks and troughs and stuff, and then one kind of little nudge from someone being like, you sit, keep going.
That was it. I had my own sort of Instagram page, but I'm a very private person, so I didn't really have too many people following me on there. And so I guess I wanted to create a platform where I could share my dance, like my that side of my life, and kind of be able to have that as a public profile. Then
to, you just started your page, and you've got your, how many, let's go down to the Insta talk. How many followers did you have?
Wow, this is a funny
thing. Such a cringeworthy thing to ask.
When I first started, I had about 150 followers.
Go on, girl.
And that was around about September 2019.
That was all of Mandy's family.
Probably. It probably was family, friends, half the Bhangra group. And even then, I'll be honest, there was no plan with the page. It was just, I just wanted another avenue.
A nice release for you as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so that started with 150, and then literally within a month, when I was posting a few videos here and there, it doubled. But sometimes it's not necessarily a good thing, because then you become so consumed by, followers, oh my god, how many followers, and you start looking at that. And I think you've got to be very careful not to get consumed by the numbers and the followers.
Sometimes you kind of get into the whole like Instagram world, and then it takes sometimes meeting people or stepping away from it for you to be like, what am I doing? Like, let's just do what I set out to do, and anything on top of that is great. But that was never your focus. Instagram was just never a platform to.
Didn't even know how to work it properly, to be honest. I didn't know what I was doing. The biggest learning kind of came through COVID, and that's really what kind of blew up my page. It did that for a lot of people, I suppose. During COVID times, we had so much time on our hands, and we had time to kind of be at home and just reflect on things and create things. But COVID gave me the time that I needed to create new content and create new ideas. And I became addicted to doing like loads of little videos.
Addicted to creating content.
I was addicted to choreography. I suppose I was always a person that lacked confidence, and you probably never think it with my page, but 100%. I'm my biggest critic myself. And having that doubt every time, being like, can I even create a choreography? I mean, we've both been there where it's like,
I'm probably still learning,
but no, a long way.
No, definitely. But I feel like you're right, like everyone inside, this is not even just about choreography as well, like anything, there'll always be your inner voice that'll be like, but are you actually good enough? And do you know what, sometimes
it's your inner critic, isn't it?
Like I feel like everyone has an inner critic, and it's just how you move past that. So you'll never be able to like mute it all the
100%.
way. But
that's like, what you quickly learn.
Yes.
Is that you can't, and you've just gotta do what you've got to do and put it out there. And there was some content I put out there, and you know, at times if it didn't receive many likes or many comments, it was like, oh, was that good enough?
Yeah.
And you start to doubt yourself. Just remember, you have to stay true to why you're doing it in the first place.
Yes.
And I learned that with many of my like videos. There was times where there was a few videos where I put out there and I was like, this is a bit outside my comfort zone, but I just want to try it. And it's good to push yourself and try new things, of course it is, but just don't lose focus of why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And don't get too consumed again by the likes and the comments and the followers and, you know, even negative comments as well, because you got to take the good with the bad.
Defo. Do you know, you were definitely one of those people. So there's people in COVID, right? Different stages of people. There's the non-productive people, then there's the mums, basically.
Skipping in the garden.
This girl, honestly, like, basically you'd just be like, God damn, man,
I've got such a busy mind, and I constantly need to occupy my busy mind.
That's good, and though. And like, what an amazing way to channel that energy, channel that free time, and channel all of it into content.
And half the time I'd be in the kitchen cooking, or I'd be on a walk, or I'd be driving somewhere.
And there'd be a song that hit you,
literally,
and you'd be like, "Oh my god,
that's what it was." That's what it was. To hear something that resonated with me, and like Cyber was a massive example of that. That hit me straight on, head on. Just
the words, the singing,
everything,
the song,
and then we ended up creating a Cyber 2. But even one of my favorite videos, to now, has got to be Old School. That me, you, and Fan did.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Wait, are you talking
I'm gonna put it here so you can have a little look.
Is Old School the one with the joggers? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that was good. And that was it the 6 of us that had gone
for a weekend just in Birmingham?
And this was literally like
in the kitchen,
like
almost.
Oh, what about this move? What about that move?
It just, the song hit me, and there was a part of the song, and I was like, girls, we need to do something to this. We need to do something to this song. And before, you know, next thing you know, me, Sandit, and Jas are like in the little kitcheny foyer bit, whatever it was, just throwing some moves out and just trying new things and testing new things. It was all of our little styles put into that.
Yeah, and it wasn't ever just one, was it?
No,
just a bit
and like, I remember when we did the clap and we did that, and Jas was like, actually, let's do it diagonal. And we tried it diagonal, and it looked great. And you were the like tweaker of the moves, and be like, let's try this.
I feel like you guys are like the here's this, and I'm like, what about this? And what about this?
Editors have. It was Gidda moves fused with like a Bhangra kind of hip hoppy vibe sort of thing, which worked really well. And
if you haven't seen it, have a look on it.
Check it. We're going to do the Nakhre challenge.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are going to try and squeeze in as many Nakhre as possible. But we need a song, don't we, really?
Yes.
So with the page, obviously, along came COVID, along came lots of content, popping loads of videos out there, and we collaborated remotely. Do you remember we did Madjiwala?
Oh, that was good.
And we did a few after that, and we did a few where we dipped in and out.
Little collaborations.
But it
was being spread out all around the country as well. Newcastle, Nuneaton, Leeds, Doncaster. Wow, I really messed up the geography there. I'm like, go on.
It was great because I got to collaborate not only with like my friends and people I knew here, but people all over the world.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Was an amazing experience.
People hitting you up from like India and like
it was
Canada.
So, and that to me, it gave me like, I loved it. It gave me so much like cushy to have heard from someone like Bhangra Mutiyar, for example. That was one of my favorite collabs as well. She is such a talented dancer, such talent. And I found her just looking through pages on like during COVID again. And we ended up following each other, and you know, she messaged, she's like, I'd love to do a collab. I was like, yes, oh my God, amazing. I look up to you, like you're amazing, of course. So we did a quick Gidda collab, which worked really well. One of the collabs that I did that I really enjoyed was Ungriyan Raja, who was in Punjab at the time. Do you remember? And that was the Gidda one. And we did that whole Gidda, the Bhangra kind of vibe. And again, what a talented guy. Like, he's such an amazing dancer, and he's very folk and very straight out Punjab. Like, you can tell, like, his shoulders, the way his shoulders move, you just can't keep up with them.
Little shakes.
Little shakes that they do, you know.
God, we could try, but would end up just being like,
they try and dislocate mine.
So literally.
Some of the successes as well that came from that, I ended up getting a message from Big Bird, just kind of commented on one of my videos. It was the Rajveer Javanda one, and he was like, oh great, this looks great, kind of thing. And then got a message about a video they were putting together through COVID, and almond coloured.
Oh yeah.
And I got a 3-second clip in there. We just had to kind of learn some lines.
Then have a look.
Did that, literally gave some lines, had to record ourselves. I literally, there's a forest at the back of my garden, went there, recorded a quick video, came back, sent it through, and it was amazing because there were so many different people in there, like even like DJ Harps, and you had people from Canada, and I was like, oh my god, I've got a 3-second video within that video. Well, there was a video that I put up, and it was when I kind of reflected the 3 different characters of Sonam Bajwa. And I don't know where the idea came from, but I always loved her character in Punjab 1984, and I just wanted to have a little bit of a play with that.
All of the dressing up and everything, it went so well.
I actually had a great time. That was a good afternoon's work done. But to put that out there and to have her share that on her post, unreal. That was unreal. And I even got a lovely message from Nana, just kind of giving me some love on like my dancing and stuff, and just it was just the appreciation, and that for me was like a big highlight, because
it's really nice to come across other like humble people,
100%,
that aren't just like, there's another girl dancing, that appreciate, like girls appreciating girls, like
and you never think like you're gonna get noticed by somebody that's
that's almost
mainstream, that you've watched videos, that's been one of your influences. Really kind of gave me my confidence to keep going as well, and keep the page running. And I was like, okay, I'm making some noise here with this page. And Rackstar liked a couple of my videos as well, and I was like, yes, I love Rackstar. And it was just to have love and appreciation from people that are like, in the public eye or of influence, and to have them comment and like videos and things, that was a big boost for me. That really gave me the fuel that I needed to just
fuel to the fire. So going with the page through like tough times and COVID and everything, how do you feel like you kept yourself motivated? So we've heard the whole like what you've done and the pages and how they've come about, but how did you actually, like, everyone knows what it was like during COVID, how did you actually keep yourself motivated?
A handful of people behind the scenes that would just keep pushing, like they kept pushing me, Jas being one of them. But even my husband, my sister-in-law, like everybody was just very much like, keep the page going. Rohit was a massive influence in kind of keeping me focused as well, and just being like, you're doing this out of love, you're great at what you do, just keep it going. And just not let you lose sight of why you've started that page or why you've started doing it. It's a massive passion of mine, and that's the reason I started it. I wanted to let out this passion, and I also wanted to create a bit of a platform in the UK for Gidda, because I think that was definitely missing,
massively lacking.
You just have to be very careful to not get caught up in the numbers and not get caught up too much in how many followers you get in, because that can change over time. Like, people come and go, people can be like temporary, following you, not following you. Sometimes you need a cleanse, like sometimes you do need time off social media just to kind of be in the moment.
You've got to regroup and like re-energize yourself to get back in there.
Absolutely. And those times really help give you that boost and give you that energy. So when you're back online again and you're back on social media, you've got more of a focus almost and a drive.
Having spoken about everything on the page now, where do we see Dance with MVR going in the future?
Kahati.
Kahage.
पता नहीं यार तो just ऐश कर दे खाओ पियो ऐश करो
Nakhre dapne
my salwara.
Oh my god,
my salwara are out.
If you haven't got them,
go check
get
it
them.
out.
The comfiest things ever.
So
joggers are out, mate. Joggers are out.
And the reason I wanted to do salwara is we as dancers as well, we used to always just get a salwara on with t-shirts, and they were so much more comfortable to dance in, to chill in, and even with these salwara you can dress them up with like kurte and things, and with different suits, so they are multi-purpose. And I ordered myself some, and I loved them, and everybody, oh my god, I would love one of them.
You would always get a comment on like, oh, those are nice.
I was always known for my salwara, and so I thought, well, why not? Let me just see where this kind of goes. So I created some salwara, and as you'll be able to see on my page, that's something that I've just recently started. But I'm also working behind the scenes on a Bolly book as well, which will be kind of accessible to you guys hopefully in the next 30 days. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, ready for wedding season. And these are kind of hand-picked Boliyan that I've put together mainly for a girl's wedding. Suhaags,
love a bit of Suhaag,
some dolgi gits, some Boliyan for the family, and some short gidda Boliyan, because we all love a bit of Boliyan.
Yes, and for anyone that thinks like, oh, you know, Boliyan, they're like older people's like songs, I don't really get them. Mand has literally like translated every single Bolly, so even if you have a quick read over it, you can have a look at the translations and like,
and it may make sense, it may not, depending on what the Bolly is. Well, actually this is something that is missing in them. I mean, there is other Bolly books, but not necessarily the shorter Gidda Boliyan, which are easy to learn, easy to pick up, and easy to sing out as well. And I suppose, you know, being kind of UK born and been to Punjab a few times, I've come from quite a Desi family. Punjabi's pretty much been like the first language within the home. So I've been fortunate enough to have that. But even I struggle with like Boliyan and knowing what means what. So I thought, if I'm going to struggle, the generations
to come then are definitely got no chance.
Exactly. So it's just about making things a bit more accessible, and again, keeping the culture alive.
But going forward, you'll see more of those Bolly videos going on the page as well. From like wedding. Oh yes, we are.
I've got an also heart for you. Right, Jassie's got the most beautiful voice ever.
So here she goes.
I'm going to wrap the English translation.
I'm going to try really hard not to laugh, but I'm okay. Let's hope I even know the words. Madhaniya Hayo mere dade aramba kina jamiya kina nile janiya hai.
Oh God, where are we born? And who will take us away? Take it away from the top. Next verse. Go.
Mand is an undercover really good singer. She just gives it large.
No,
like
I'm below auntie singer.
Below auntie as me. Chole बाबुल तेरे महला विचों सतरंगिया कबूतर बोले हाय.
Chickpeas. Dad, in your big mansion, there is a very colourful bird. What's Satarangia? 7-coloured bird singing or speaking. Madania. Drop out. Mic drop.
And she is going to give me the first Punjabi word that comes to her mind. So let's go. Ready? E.
Ekta.
Oh, that was actually all right. D. Dada.
Daler.
P.
Umpda.
H.
Haryana.
Okay, one more.
Haldiram. Let's switch it. I'm going to switch it.
Oh, here it goes. Here it goes
Okay.
wrong. Okay.
M.
Mahina.
S.
Sas.
Hasmerida. I don't do that now. P.
Punjab.
Lata.
That was a real cop.
Rada.
Rodia. Rodia? Is that how you say it?
Rodia? Radia? Radia.
No, rodia. Those things you eat.
Radia. B.
Buckshaw. I'll go with the name.
Should have said.
That's a good one. Bashittar. What did I say?
Bashittar.
Yeah.
She wants me to name it Bashittar, by the way. This is why.
That was my naming guess. So to conclude, Mand, do you want to do your tips and tricks?
If you guys are learning how to dance, or I've got a dance coming up that you need to learn for somebody's wedding, somebody's performance, there are 5 tips that I would like to give you guys. The first tip is find your rhythm. And what I mean by that is get comfortable dancing in your own style. Everybody has a completely different style. And one thing that we've learned as well is when you try and replicate somebody else exactly,
it
doesn't work. And then it makes you feel like you can't do it, and you can't dance. But everyone's got their own, we've all been gifted with our own rhythm.
Yes.
So find your rhythm. So you're cooking, you're doing something, put all sorts of different music on and just try and just dance a little and get yourself comfortable with that rhythm as well. Tip number 2, learn the moves step by step. Don't overcomplicate it. Just slow it down. When you see something, you think, how am I going to do that? Literally, if you need to learn arms first, learn arms, then you learn legs, or if you learn legs first, and then just step by step, and then slowly start to put it together. Repeat, and repeat, because it does take time to get everything together, because the first few times your arms will be doing something else and your leg wants to go over here, but just keep repeating it. Tip number 3, don't overthink it. People sometimes
that's me.
well, we've all been there when you're like dancing and on your face you're like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Our first ever performances would have been that.
And it's like you can see on your face that you're thinking. Try not to overthink it. Enjoy that moment. Enjoy the dance.
A smile on your face.
Definitely.
Fake it until you make it.
Exactly. But literally, the more you try and overthink it, the more you'll lose your rhythm and lose where you're going with the dance. So that's where repetition is important, so you know it. And then once you know it, you can literally just do the dance. Don't try and think about, oh, my leg's going over there or my arm's going over there. Just don't. Just listen to the music and let your body move your body, girl. 4, if you miss a step, don't freeze and panic. Don't be like,
oh god, I literally have probably reoccurring nightmares of that happening on stage.
Just don't panic, don't freeze, keep going. Who knows you've missed a step, you might have meant to do that.
Exactly. So, even if someone else is doing something completely different and you've done something different,
just keep going with it. Literally,
how
as long as you've got a smile, long as you've got a smile and you keep going and you keep moving, nobody will even notice.
No one remembers nobody's gonna know.
And the 5th and final one is expressions. Enjoy it, enjoy your dance. Expressions are everything, obviously depending on what dance you're doing, but for Bhangra, for Gidda, it's all about big smiles, big enjoyment. Nakhre, you got to bring those Nakhre out, girls. Those this and
the queen of Nakhre.
You've got to give the Nakhre. That just adds to the whole kind of, it just captures you in the moment when somebody's like enjoying it, and obviously got the facial expressions. If you are learning to dance, give them a go, enjoy, and we will see you for podcast number 3 next time. Cut kar de unna.
Oh, hello bhai, nahi hunda jinna cher aa nahi hunda.